on a few issues.
Have fun. You have to live those moments. You get new council members, then you start teasing.
Okay, it's 5:15. It's our special meeting, and the first thing we're going to do is our Pledge of Allegiance. Councilmember Rojanstian, would you lead us, please?
Be honored.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We do roll call now, and we do need a, Councilmember Harold is working on a project, and with her husband over in Seattle. But the new rules that I understand, we need a motion to have her excused.
Your Honor, I'll make a motion to excuse Linda Harold from tonight's meeting.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilmember Huffaker and second by Councilmember Hornby to excuse Councilmember Harold for tonight's meeting. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion pass. Okay, this is a time for a period for anybody in our community out there. We're gonna, if you'd come up and just state your name and address, and we limit to 3 minutes.
Thank you. My name is Dorothy Ferguson. I live at 1650 Concord Place in Wenatchee. I'm a member of the Columbia Parents Advocacy Group. It's a committee of the Columbia Elementary PTO, the parent-teacher organization. We represent 345 students and 700 parents of Columbia Elementary School. They were not able to be here today. They're having dinner with their children and supervising homework. Thank you for listening to our concerns about elementary students crossing Ferry and Russell and Miller Streets. Thank you for your efforts to ensure safe walking routes to school for youngest children ages 5 to 11. The Wenatchee School Board will be making a decision on May 14th if Columbia School will be closed or remain open. Our primary concern is the safety of our 345 children walking to and from school each day, crossing a busy thoroughfare with inadequate infrastructure for school crosswalks. Thank you for your efforts to ensure our child's safety. Thank you.
What date did they say they're going to decide?
The school board's having a meeting and they're deciding on May 14th.
May 14th. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Lois Ferguson. I live at 1650 Concord Place in Wenatchee. I'm a member of the Columbia Parents Advocacy Group, and I'm here to share their traffic analysis of students crossing Ferry Street, which you should have before you. On the second page, the first question is, who survives being hit by a car? On page 3, you'll see the Washington Traffic Safety Commission shares that speed kills. At 20 miles per hour, 9 out of 10 pedestrians survive. At 30 miles per hour, 5 out of 10 pedestrians survive. At 40 miles per hour, 1 out of 10 pedestrians survive. That is an average. We're not talking about just children. They would be impacted more severely. On page 4, on March 19th, 2022, the Washington Traffic Safety Commission conducted a speed survey. Three streets were selected: Wenatchee Avenue, Chelan Avenue, and Ferry Street. The table shows the results for Ferry Street. The time was 11:30 in the morning. The weather was cloudy. The speed limit is 30 miles per hour. 317 drivers were observed. 220 drivers, or 70%, were speeding. 195 drivers speed going 31 to 35 miles per hour. 25 drivers speed going 36 to 45 miles per hour. That's a lot of drivers with speeding habits. That needs to change if 170 students will be crossing Ferry and Russell Streets walking to and from school. School crosswalks are required to have a 20-mile-per-hour speed limit. Currently, there are no 20-mile-per-hour speed limit signs along Ferry Russell Street. Thank you for your efforts to ensure safe walking routes for Columbia Elementary students to Lincoln and Washington schools.
Thank you, Lois.
My name is Emily Bjork, and my address is 518 Okanagan Avenue. I'm also a member of the Columbia Parent Advocate Group. We have established a task force to address the safe walking routes to schools. As parents and guardians of our children's safety, we are all affected parties to the school district's proposal to significantly change school walking routes for Columbia Elementary students. The Safe Walking Routes School Task Force requests transparency from the city regarding traffic studies and the recommendations for safe walking routes to schools. We request that those studies for school walk routes be presented before April 18th. This is the last public hearing date where families can talk to the school board. That date will allow us to provide testimony to the school board about the closure of Columbia. Parents want to share those results with the Wenatchee School Board for their consideration before their final vote May 14th. On May 14th, the school board makes the final decision to either keep Columbia open or close Columbia and require 170 students to cross ferry to and from school every day and 117 students to cross Miller Street to and from school every day. Thank you for your consideration.
Emily, before you leave,
Yeah.
do you guys have a website, just in case people are online or?
So we recently had a person from the museum volunteer her time to create a website for us.
Okay.
So we're hoping to get that up and running in the next few weeks.
Okay.
I can also send you an email if you want to reach out
Yep.
or chat directly. I'll just send another hello to you guys. And then if you want to coordinate with our task force at all, or if you need anything, you can reach out to us.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, the earlier, the quicker we know what's gonna happen, and then and you guys are addressing exactly what the city needs to know, you know,
Sure.
what's safe
Yeah.
routes, right? It's important. Rob, I hate to put you on the spot, but do you have any comment for these three people that just came up?
I do. Our staff, public works staff, engineering staff, has reached out to the school district and with our police department, and we're going to be setting up some meetings here in the near future to talk about this issue. And so we're already tracking it and want to stay ahead of it. So we'll be come alongside you guys as they make this decision.
Okay.
And just speaking for the department and the city as a whole, the safe school walk routes are very important to us, and we take them very seriously.
Okay. We would love to be involved if you want to have some citizens on your advisory board.
We appreciate that.
Okay.
We'll get your contact information, and then
Sure.
we'll circle back.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Okay, anybody else for 3 minutes of public comment? Anybody online that wants to participate at this time? Okay. We will go to our consent items.
Your Honor, I'll make a motion to approve the agenda, vouchers, and minutes from previous meetings.
Second?
We have a motion by Councilmember Hornby and second by Councilmember Atkins to approve the agenda vouchers and minutes from previous meeting. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion pass. Okay, we have a Red Cross Month proclamation. Who's reading that into the record?
I have that, Mayor. American Red Cross Month proclamation. Whereas during American Red Cross Month in March, we celebrate Wenatchee, Washington's humanitarian spirit, reaffirming our commitment to help ensure no one faces a crisis alone. Caring for one another is at the heart of our community and exemplified by the people whose simple acts of kindness through the Red Cross provide help and hope in people's most difficult moments, continuing the life-saving legacy of Clara Barton, who founded the organization more than 140 years ago to prevent and alleviate human suffering. Whereas every day, these ordinary individuals lend a helping hand to make an extraordinary difference for neighbors in need, whether it's providing emergency shelter, food, and comfort for families displaced by home fires and other disasters, donating life-saving blood for cancer patients, accident victims, and people with sickle cell disease and other life-threatening conditions, supporting military members and veterans, along with their families and caregivers, through the unique challenges of service, using vital skills like first aid and CPR to help others survive medical emergencies, or delivering international humanitarian aid and reconnecting loved ones separated by crises around the world. Whereas their support, volunteerism, and generous donations are critical to our community's resilience, we hereby recognize this month of March in honor of all who fulfill Clara Barton's noble words. You must never think of anything except the need and how to meet it, and ask everyone to join in this commitment. Now, therefore, I, Mayor Mike Poyer, hereby proclaim March 2024 as Red Cross Month. I encourage all citizens of Wenatchee to reach out and support its humanitarian mission. In witness whereof, I have caused the seal of the City of Wenatchee to be affixed on the 7th day of March 2024. Mike Poyer.
So, we have a microphone down here. This one work? This work?
Hello, hello. Good.
Thank you, Doug. Doug's the also executive director of River Tom, and thank you. It's seriously, thank you for doing this and accepting this.
Yeah, for those that don't know, I'm on the, I've been a longtime volunteer and board member of the Red Cross locally, and we really appreciate the city's commitment to the Red Cross and support. The banners downtown look great. Every year the city and their crews put up the banners recognizing Red Cross Month, so we really appreciate that and the proclamation tonight, so thank you.
Thank you, Doug. Seriously, thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Right person to accept it. Thank you very much. Thanks again, Doug. You're the right person to accept it. You give a lot back to the community, and we appreciate it. Okay, we have, let's see, some action items. David Erickson.
You ready?
Yes.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Council. Dave Erickson, Parks and Recreation Director for the city. This evening, I'm requesting a motion to accept the donation of the granite fern flower sculpture from the Chelan PUD. So you might have noticed, but they have moved out of their former location and are now out in Old Station. But one of those items that was sort of left behind is the sculpture right on the corner of Wenatchee Avenue. And then I think that's, what is that, fifth? So PUD reached out to us, said, would we like to add it to our public art collection? And so we ran it by our Arts Rec and Park Commission. They unanimously agreed. This donation would be consistent with our comprehensive plan. We've got a goal in that plan to bring additional sculptures and artwork out to the neighborhood parks. And so this, if approved, would move out to Pennsylvania Park, and that's where its new home would be, hopefully by the end of the month. With that, I can try to answer any questions you might have.
So they paid for it, and now they're giving it to us to take care and maintain and have another collection of our art.
Yeah, and this particular sculpture is not nearly as labor intensive to clean annually like we do with the bronze sculptures, which require waxing and things like that. So this is just an annual cleaning program. We have a adoptive sculpture program in place as well, where we have volunteers come out and help clean the collection each year. So just roll right into that, the rest of the sculpture collection that we have.
Thank you. Any questions for David or comments? Hearing none. Entertain a motion.
I'll move for the city council to accept the donation of the granite fern flower sculpture from the Chelan PUD and include the sculpture in the public art collection.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilmember Atkinson and seconded by Councilmember Cuevas for city council to accept the donation for the granite fern flower sculpture from the Chelan PUD and include the sculpture in the public art collection. Any comments, discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passed. Thanks, Dave. Thanks for doing that. And I don't know how, I'm just curious, how does it, they just contact us and said, hey, you know what, we're willing to, I don't know how this would transpire.
Yeah, so this one has been in the works for a while, for I'd say almost the better part of a year, where PUD reached out to us initially to find out if we had any suggestions for a location for this. And so we provided them with a few different location options. They went through their process. I'm not sure what their process was, but then they came back and said, hey, would you be interested in just taking it on? And so that's kind of how we ended up where we are.
That's great.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You bet. So we'll plant it in the park and you'll watch it grow out there.
Let's see. Osborne Consulting, Wenatchee Rescue Mission, presented by Glenn DeVries. And Glenn, you're our Community Development Director.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. I have a contract amendment before you this evening for Osborne Consulting, who's been assisting the city in the design and infrastructure development for the future pallet shelters at the Wenatchee Rescue Mission on South Wenatchee Avenue. There's a need for a let's see, a new lift station due to the system failing, and it's really band-aided at this point. We've had the biggest impact on the shelter with, we have 65 low barrier beds, and then the new 90 beds for the pallet shelters. And then we also have one of our safe parks located adjacent to their campus. And so it's a real need for us to be able to go forward for our existing services, and then also for the pallet shelters to get in place. So this design's necessary in order to make those improvements for the lift station. There was a last minute adjustment, an error omission that the Osborne found, and so the cost did go up from the original amount of $52,833 in your packet to a new amount of $55,726. So would take any questions you might have on this proposal at this time.
So Glenn, just to be clear, this is the reason for this because of the new pallet shelters and the safe park, or were they having problems before this and this is kind of fixing two problems with one solution?
Imminently, this, can't say for sure, but imminently this would have happened. The system was old. We've been, with additional capacity, that the additional folks that are staying now because of the contracts we have with them, it's really pushed the system, and then there's just no way for it to function with the new additional units that are going out there. And we had the engineering do take a look at proportional impacts, and we're the majority of the impact that is occurring with this, and the project can't move forward without this occurring. One of the things that happened, though, overall for the project development, there are partners that came forward to assist with the costs, the county, and then also there were donations through the community to help with the costs. So proportionately, we're a significant component of it, but there were other partners in the community that stepped forward, including the county.
Okay, so we're feeling like we're within our bounds to spend homeless funds to correct this problem and give us the capacity we need for the future.
Correct, yes.
Thank you.
And just a point of clarification, this is coming out of the homeless program funds, correct?
Correct.
Thank you.
Fund 117.
Yes.
Any other questions?
Your Honor, I'll make a motion for the City Council to authorize the City Administrator to enter into an agreement with Osborne Consulting for the development of a draft and final plan for the pump replacement of the existing lift station for the Wenatchee Rescue Mission as described in Exhibit A, Scope of Services, in the amount not to exceed $55,726 as shown in Exhibit B, Fee Estimate.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Huffaker and second by Councilmember Hornby. Correct?
Yep.
No, thank you. For City Council to authorize the city administrator to enter into an agreement with Osborne Consulting for the development of a draft and final plan for the pump replacement of the existing lift station for the Wenatchee Rescue Mission, as described in Exhibit A, Scope of Services, in the amount not to exceed $55,726, as shown in Exhibit B, Fee Estimate. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Passes. Well, thank you, Glenn. I know this was kind of a emergency at one time, right? And they had to kind of, they had a kind of a awful situation there for a while, but I know they reached out. And I was glad the county, I'm glad the county came and participated also with this. So.
It was a great partnership effort in the community and really a positive outcome.
Do you know how much money the community, because I know they were on the radio there for a while, do you know that number? I'm just
I
curious.
apologize, I didn't bring that. I can.
For some reason, I
certainly
think it was
get
like
that
10,
for
it was like 10,000 or something around that number, I think, so.
you. Yeah, I think it was even grew to a higher number.
Number,
which was
nice.
great.
All right. Thank you very much.
You bet, thank you.
Oh, you're doing Stevens. Oh,
I am,
got
yes.
it. Thank you. I was looking for him.
So have before you a recommendation to appoint Amber Bollinger to the City of Wenatchee Planning Commission. We're very pleased with her submission. We actually had two candidates who submitted applications and both were excellent. We're actually really excited to say that in November, we'll be forwarding a second recommendation for a vacancy for Mr. Gamboni. Will be, his term will expire at the end of this December, and he's done a great job for the city. But we're very pleased to have another excellent candidate that we'll bring to you in November to fill that position. So it's just a great interest. So happy to answer any questions you have. We did do a new process for review of these positions where we take the Planning Commission chair. And we were very pleased to have Councilmember Charlie Atkinson on that review panel, as well as Stephen Neuenschwander to interview Amber Bollinger, and they forward a recommendation for you to consider this evening.
Glenn, can you give us a little bit of her background? What is
She is
working?
in development and is very engaged in our missing middle housing codes, and very excited to be part of the next 3 years of updates that the city will be participating in, looking at our codes, looking at opportunities, figuring out how the community can accommodate growth, but also protect our neighborhoods. So she's really excited and wants to be engaged in that process.
Thank you.
Your Honor, I'll move for City Council to adopt resolution number 2024-06, appointing Amber Bollinger to the Planning Commission for a 4-year term.
Second.
Travis, was that you? Thanks. We have a motion by Councilmember Rojanstian and second by Councilmember Hornby for City Council to adopt resolution number 2024-06, appointing Amber Bollinger to the Planning Commission for a 4-year term. Any discussion?
I just echo what Glenn said, that both candidates were very qualified. We were privileged to have that kind of quality of person applying. So.
Thank you for being on there too. I know we'll get asked to be on those sometimes, and thanks for doing that. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion pass.
Thank you.
Let's see, a short agenda tonight. I guess I'll do mayor's report first. City Administrator and I, Gloria, we're going to Washington DC Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We're going with the port. And it's more of a regional approach and let them know what we're doing, including the commercial air service and what's going on there and our infrastructure for improvements here in our region. So you know, I did meet with Alicia McRae, and she's the Executive Director for the Housing Authority. And we do have an appointment available if you guys can think of somebody that might be good for that, to be on that board to represent us, so you guys know. Some fun stuff. The Special Olympics was here. We did a little polar plunge. I committed to next year, so we'll see how that goes. So, looking for lots of money from you guys. And I volunteered for the Special Olympics in the past, always for basketball, but that was the first time I went to the opening night, and that was a impressive experience of 8,000 people that come into our town and participate. So that was exciting. Laura, what else? Do you have some things for us?
Yeah, we have several job openings, but we haven't a job opening for a project or staff engineer. We have lots of capital projects happening in the city, so if you know anyone that's interested or a friend, please direct them to our website. The Wenatchee Police Department released their February statistics for the traffic unit, so still some fantastic work happening there. Total traffic stops 173, 106 tickets issued, 4 DUI arrests. I actually was able to go on a ride along with one of our officers last week, and it was there were a lot of customers very quickly, is how I'll say it. But they're doing a fantastic job. Glad they're out there because there's a huge need for that type of enforcement. So yeah, thank you to our police department. That's all.
Thank you. Council members, Councilmember Ewer, why don't you tell us about your wastewater treatment, where you went today? Was it, did you learn anything?
I learned a lot. It was very fascinating. I walked away with a much greater knowledge of all that goes on behind the scenes and under the ground. So, very interesting.
Thank you.
Yes.
Anything else for the week?
No, I had a meeting with Brad and I've had a couple great one-on-ones, which has been fantastic. Getting a lot of great information, which is helping me feel much more prepared and knowledgeable. So that's been really, really great, and I really appreciate it.
And the chamber banquet's coming?
Thursday. Yep, next Thursday, the 14th.
Okay.
Yes.
So we know, I'm not sure if everybody's gonna be able to make it there or not.
It'll be great.
And Councilmember Cuevas, where'd you go today?
Today was a fascinating day. We went to the, what is that, Aerospace?
Pacific Aerospace.
Pacific Aerospace. With Charlie and I learned a lot. There was something interesting that everybody should have seen that nobody else sees, that we produce so much stuff for the world out there. I don't know if we're allowed to talk about it, but
No,
but anyway,
it's very interesting.
it was very interesting.
You see jet planes out there fighting, then
Yeah.
that might be a piece that came from
It
Pacific
came from
Aerospace.
Wenatchee.
400 employees, which in our region, which is incredible. I think that was a nice shock, and I think if I got this right, it's $30 million in wages. So that's something, and they want to come out and reach the community. And matter of fact, they might be good for that board, but the president of them that met with us said they want to engage more in our community. And that's one of their objectives for this year, so you guys know.
That's great.
Anything else? What else we got?
Go ahead. Chelan Douglas Homeless Housing Task Force. We had the quarterly meeting last week, and there's a couple of things in the works, but I'm going to serve on an ad hoc committee dealing with rental assistance, looking for funding for that that doesn't have the same restrictions for one-time rental assistance to prevent homelessness as opposed to dealing with it on the front end. So.
Nice. Good. Huffaker?
Nothing for me today.
Just a quick update on the WDA. They're going through their national assessment with Main Street Association. So those groups are here doing interviews and walking around and checking out our downtown. And but they're excited, and new president and executive director just did her 1 year, so things are cruising down there.
Nice. City Attorney, can you stand up for a second for me? Please. Guess what? It's her birthday. So,
Happy
Happy
birthday.
Birthday
thanks
to
you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Danielle. Happy
City Attorney.
birthday to you.
Aw.
Good. It also, speaking of city attorney, it says here I have to make a motion to adjourn. Is that a correct? Oh, okay. Okay, so I guess we need a motion to adjourn unless we have anything else.
Your Honor, I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll second that.
Motion by Councilmember Hornby and second by Councilmember Huffaker to adjourn the meeting. All those in favor say aye.
Bye.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great rest